So one of the other things I like about cooking, or the food in general, is it gives us a window into what might be called the hyperspace, in a sense, or high dimensional spaces. So what does that mean, right? If you look at a flat piece of paper and you have a ruler and you want to draw lines that are perpendicular to each other at 90 degrees, there's really only one way to do it. There's only two lines that you can put on two dimensions such that there's a right angle. If you add a third line onto the piece of paper, it will be some mixture of the two. There's not another direction. There's not another 90 degrees. And if we go to 3D, right, there's only three. And in 3 dimensions, we get 3 directions that are at 90 degrees, that are perpendicular to each other. And if we try to add another direction, it will be some combination of those 3. But cooking gives us a whole different window into reality, because with cooking we have way more than 3 directions or dimensions. And so if you're making a dish and you add lemon to it, let's say, there's no amount of lemon you can add such that you make the dish more chocolatey. There's no amount of vanilla you can add that will make it more cinnamon. And if we think of cooking and how many directions we have, how many different ways we can nudge our recipe such that the final product ends up in a certain place in sort of flavor space, right? There are hundreds. There are hundreds. And when you think about all the different flavors you can add to stuff, right? Everything from cheese and mustard to hot peppers and chocolate and so on. They're all slightly different directions. And so it gives us, as humans, an intuition, real world grounded sensory experience into these high dimensional spaces. And it's often in mathematics and in physics we need to think about more dimensions. String theory famously, but really even Einstein with his space-time, that was, 4 directions. And I would encourage you when you're cooking and you're adding a little bit of this and adding a little bit of that, imagine you're in this sort of multi-dimensional space and that you're actually creating this high dimensional object, and that your tongue can actually kind of explore these really interesting hyperspaces.